Who is Chancellor-elect Kent Severud? Find out tonight.
Making matters in Colorado worse, unstable roads are crumbling from the impact of the deadly floodwaters.
And anxious customers waited for hours outside stores for the newly released iPhone 5 models.
And Iranian leaders are changing their tone. Citrus TV News starts right now. Good evening and welcome to Citrus TV News Live at 6. I'm John Tummino.
And I'm Anna Giles. 13 are injured after a gunman opened fire in a Chicago park last night. That's our top story.
A 3-year-old boy is among the 4 who were listed in critical condition last night. All victims are expected to survive. In fact, Chicago police are saying it's a miracle no one was killed in the shooting. But this is just another incident that pushes the gun debate to the forefront of discussion.
Everybody praying that this violence just stop. You know, it's too many kids getting hurt out here.
So far, no suspects are in custody. Police believe that the shooting is gang-related. The shooting comes only 3 weeks after Chicago authorities say they saw an explosion of violence over Labor Day weekend. In a recent report, the FBI branded Chicago the murder capital of America.
And more devastating news coming from the Midwest. Unstable Colorado roads are starting to crumble from the impact of deadly floodwaters. Insurance companies are anticipating the disaster will cost homeowners, businesses, and local government nearly $2 billion. The confirmed death toll from the floods now stands at 7, with more presumed to be dead. 2 natural gas and oil wells have been broken open, temporarily suspending drilling in Colorado's main petroleum-producing region. And some news closer to campus. And more news closer to campus. Just last week, the announcement of Chancellor Nancy Counter's replacement for next year was made to the SU community. Reporter Sophia Borelli found out just who this new guy is. We apologize that we had some technical difficulties with that package. Oh, actually, we're going in the package now.
In fact, Syracuse University has been offering online classes since now. Online education is nothing new. In fact, Syracuse University has been.
We apologize for the technical difficulties on that package, but we have a guest here tonight, Ivan Rosales, who was actually a member on the committee who helped select the new chancellor. So, Ivan, tell us about the composition of this committee. How many members were on it, and what were the qualifications?
Oh, first of all, thank you for having me. It was a very intense process, going through all of this, but we wanted to make sure that the committee had members from all walks of not only campus, but Syracuse. So we had undergraduate students, we had graduate student, faculty, staff, administrators, and we even had some trustees on the board as well.
Great composition. Yeah,
it was a very good, well-rounded board. Ultimately, the University Senate went through the approval and vetted a group of students and a group of faculty members that have been to go up to the board trustees for confirmation. Faculty were in charge of sending a faculty representative. The Student Association was in charge of setting students, and so on and so forth.
Ivan, what criteria did you...
We're going to switch over, and we've actually got our package up and ready to go. So we're going to take a look at the details reporter Sophia Borelli has on the new chancellor.
Kent Severud will become SU's new chancellor in January of 2014. But before he gets settled into his new home on Walnut Place, many members of the SU community want to know, who is this soon-to-be chancellor? Richard Thompson spoke of the type of man Severud is.
He's admired as an intellectual and a professional. He is a public servant and a public scholar. He's an award-winning teacher.
Severud received his undergraduate degree from Georgetown University, which SU seemed to not mention in their email to students. He then went for his law and master's degrees at the University of Michigan. After that, he worked for the United States Supreme Court under Sandra Day O'Connor, and from there was the dean of 2 law schools, including Vanderbilt, and his current position at Washington University. Severud has a lot of experience in his background, but Chancellor will be a new title for him. When he addressed the students and faculty of SU last Thursday at Hendricks Chapel, he said that this felt like coming back home for him.
I was born and grew up in upstate. I'm a proud graduate of Irondequoit High School near Rochester. That means that I grew up getting my groceries from Wegmans.
Severud also said in his speech that SU was the first college campus that he had ever stepped foot on, and he is very excited to do that again, this time in a different role. Sophia Borelli, Citrus TV News.
So that gives you a little look at Kent Severud and who he really is. Now that you're considering those aspects, what about Kent Severud set him apart from the rest of the candidates for this position?
It was, everything about Kent. We went through the interview process, and when we discussed the candidates, he just stood out. He was the clear winner. He was on another level. It was about his genuineness, particularly with me. It was a very genuine with students. He wanted to talk to students. It wasn't, part of his job description or anything like that. He wanted to do that. He is, a very accomplished scholar, so he can get, the faculty and the professors on board because of his accomplishments, very scholarly in that sense. And then he's done amazing things at his jobs. While he was at Vanderbilt, he was the dean of the law school, but at one point he stepped in and took over the political science department and, revamped the department because he had gone through, it was in a very shaky spot. He came in and he's a shaker. He came in and put it on the map. Same with Washington Law School. He came in and he's done wonders for it. Right now it's a top 14 law school. And getting into that spot's hard. There's, schools that are grandfathered in, and he went through and broke the mold, and he did some amazing things.
Well, it certainly seems like he has the pedigree and the resume. Congratulations on the pick, and we look forward to seeing him take over. Thank you very much, Ivan.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivan. Memorial services took place yesterday in a fully packed Hendricks Chapel for Onondaga Community College Athletic Director Rob Edson. Many people came out to remember Edson, including head basketball coach Jim Boeheim and former SU football coach Doug Marrone. Edson passed away earlier this week after an apparent heart attack. He was only 41 years old.
This weekend, the Crave Festival takes over the Connective Corridor route and provides Syracuse with a variety of visual and performing arts events. 33 individual events are set to take place today and tomorrow along the Connective Corridor route, ranging from dance performances to improv shows. The festival culminates this Saturday night in Goldstein Auditorium with a multimedia performance from DJ Spooky. SU and a few other universities around the country have received a 3-year, $1.5 million grant from the National Science Foundation. This money will be used by physicists in participating schools to study the high-speed collisions of black holes and neutron stars in space.
In the fall of 2011, Syracuse University created the current religious observance policy, requiring students to register religious observances and holidays on MySlice. Although the new policy allows the university to grant students a full week off for Thanksgiving, the policy makes it difficult for some students to observe other well-known religious holidays, like Rosh Hashanah.
Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are Jewish high holy days. It's a special time for the Jewish people to reflect, repent, and pray for a good year to come. But not all Jewish SU students have the opportunity to observe.
The bigger issue is not so much the professors are pressuring students not to miss class, but that because of the classes and the work, students are feeling the pressure on themselves not to miss class.
The Jewish high holy days forbid work of any kind. Because Syracuse University does not give all students off for these holidays, Jewish students are allowed to register for them on MySlice and take the day off.
There's just no time to do the work, and even on top of all of that, you're in this mindset of trying to be as angelic as, pure as possible. You're trying to focus on the holiday, on your repentance, and to have to do work during that holiday, even after all those things, is still just, something you shouldn't have to focus on.
Regardless of what year students may be, the worry about missing classes seems to be universal.
And so I know people, freshmen especially have that problem, especially so early in the year this year, that they're just getting adjusted and they don't want to miss. But seniors as well. I know plenty of seniors that have worries and ended up not coming to services or coming to services late because they felt they needed to be in class.
The Hillel community hopes to have the opportunity to educate professors and the university on what is needed for the Jewish students during these holy days.
We want to open up the conversation. We want to sit down with Hendricks Chapel. We want to sit down with, student affairs, chancellor's office. The policy was created with the right intentions, but it's not being enforced properly, and unfortunately the Jewish students are taking the brunt of that.
Although Hanukkah is early this year and it will take place during the academic year, it isn't a big issue. Hanukkah is a much lower holiday than Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and it doesn't require as much of a time commitment. Amanda Harry, CitrusTV.
Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are Jewish high holy holidays. It's a special time for Jewish people to reflect, repent, and pray for a good year to come. But not all Jewish SU students have the opportunity to observe. The bigger issue is not so much professors pressuring students not to miss class, but because of the classes and work, students are feeling the pressure on themselves not to miss class, and it's a very major issue. Continuing, Syracuse University began experimenting with a new kind of online class last spring. Reporter Ashley Sue talked to the iSchool about these massive online classes.
Online education is nothing new. In fact, Syracuse University has been offering online classes since 1993. However, the growing trend of massive open online classes, or MOOCs, caught the eyes of the School of Information Studies. MOOCs are online classes free of charge and open to anyone who would like to learn. SU's iSchool launched its first free data science course last spring. According to iSchool's Dean Liddy, the class became popular with a new demographic.
75% had no prior contact with Syracuse University, so it opens up a whole new population.
This new population is without limits. Although SU originally planned 500 spots in its first MOOC, a total of 1,731 enrolled. Professor Lankeys taught a new librarianship MOOC at SU. He describes the new challenges that come with massive-sized courses.
One of the things that we pride ourselves, even in our online education, is one-on-one connections, 24 students, close connection to the professor. 2,500, I have a hard time reading that many essays.
Because MOOCs are available free of charge for the public, people who simply enroll do not receive college credit.
The MOOCs are actually more like experiments and outreach from the school, not directly in the curriculum per se.
Those who want graduate study credit need to pay extra money for additional assignments before earning credit from a MOOC. People who enroll in SU MOOCs may also decide to pay for additional graduate-level classes before earning a certificate from the iSchool.
They registered to take a certificate of advanced study, which is there's 5 courses to get it. So it's somewhere in between an undergrad and a master's.
As of right now, the iSchool is the only college at Syracuse University that offers MOOCs. Current plans do not include any MOOCs aimed at the undergraduate level. However, more graduate-level MOOCs will be available in the future.
We've got another one under development right now, but I'm not going to say what it is.
It looks like the world will just have to wait and see. Reporting for CitrusTV News,
The iSchool began launching MOOCs independent of the other Syracuse University colleges. It is unknown whether or not other schools like the Arts and Sciences or Link Engineering School will launch MOOCs in the future. Up next, it's holiday season for iPhone users. Apple has released its latest model of the iPhone, and users just can't get enough.
And the House of Representatives passed a controversial bill that could cut millions off of food stamps. The details coming up next. But first, a quick weather update from CitrusTV meteorologist Leanda Rosa.
Thanks, Anna. Hopefully you're out enjoying the last bit of summer sun because fall officially rolls in on Sunday. Stay with us for your full weather forecast to see how long this 80-degree sunny weather will stick around.
Now it's time for This Week in Bad Stats.
Bad stats?
Horrible stats. Here goes. 132.
That's how many batters struck out 4 times in one game last season.
Wow, very good. Here's a tough one, though. 3 and 4.
No idea.
That's how many kids witness bullying. 3 out of 4.
That's not a good stat.
No, it's not, but it can change. Kids want to help, but they don't know how. Visit stopbullying.gov and give them the tools they need to help prevent bullying.
There are plenty of safe ways kids can help at stopbullying.gov.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool. Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
So, are you going out tonight? I can't. My parents say I have to be home right after work. That's so gay. Totally gay.
Ugh, that is so Emma and Julia.
Why are you saying that's so Emma and Julia?
Well, you know, when something is dumb or stupid, you say that's so Emma and Julia.
Who says that?
Everyone. Imagine if who you are were used as an insult. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Danse, balance la cadence, ondule bien tes hanches, au bal du dimanche.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
iPhone users across the country lined up this morning, some waiting hours to get their hands on the new iPhone models, the 5S and the 5C. At the Apple Store nearby in Destiny, USA, people started lining up last night, waiting for the doors to open at 8 a.m. The iPhone 5C is the new, cheap version of the iPhone with prices starting at $99, and there are 5 different colors to choose from. The 5S has a new camera system and a fingerprint scan technology installed on the home button. And the House of Representatives passed a bill that will cut roughly $40 billion from the federal food stamp program. 217 legislators voted in favor of the bill, and 210 voted against it. New York Representative Dan Maffei was among the 194 Democrats who were against the bill. For now, the bill will likely not be voted on by the Senate, and the president has already threatened to veto it.
Some good news for New Yorkers. Statewide unemployment is down a percentage point from 8.6% a year ago to 7.6% now. The rate did increase from 7.5% in the month of July, however. The statewide jobs gain number is the largest since January. During August, New York State added nearly 23,000 jobs. In the Syracuse area, over 2,500 jobs were added this year.
We have never pursued or sought a nuclear bomb, and we are not going to do.
Taking a page out of Russian President Vladimir Putin's playbook, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani has published his own op-ed addressed to Americans. In his Washington Post published piece, he calls for teamwork between countries in order to end disputes and help stop violence. This comes one day after Rouhani stated that Iran will never, ever pursue building a nuclear weapon. And as the fighting in Syria continues, international diplomats are still pushing for a peaceful solution. Putin has been formulating a plan with the United States that calls for the complete removal of chemical weapons in Syria, but only through peaceful means. According to Secretary of State John Kerry, Russia said it's willing to remove and destroy the chemical weapons, but only as part of an international coalition. A major struggle will be reaching a deal at the United Nations.
A 5-month-old baby died when he was crushed by an airport baggage conveyor belt on Thursday. It's not yet confirmed how the baby ended up on the baggage belt, but a security officer said he saw the baby's mother set him down while reaching for something. Medical personnel immediately rushed to the area, but unfortunately were not able to save the infant. Up next, your weather update. Don't turn your heaters up just yet, folks. We're in for some warmer temperatures.
And Miley Cyrus is at it again. Her latest video, Wrecking Ball, is wrecking havoc on one college campus.
Kickflip 6 stairs takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
More good weather on the day today, Leanne. How's the rest of the weekend shaping up?
Well, today we obviously had bright blue skies, high of 81, but tonight, moving on, it's dropping down to low of 62. Skies will stay clear, though, because we unfortunately are moving into tomorrow. We're going to have showers, thunderstorms developing late in the afternoon. Thankfully, our game is in the Carrier Dome tomorrow, so we don't have to worry, but temperatures will be dropping, not as high as 81. We'll see the Doppler. We had our high warm weather front coming through. That hit us today with 80, but we have cold fronts coming in later throughout the week, and that's going to bring a little bit of rain and some temperatures that drop. If you move on to the 5-day forecast, you can see that temperatures drop throughout the day. We have low 60s moving throughout the week, but we'll get some sun, so we're not going to have the gloomy fall cold weather yet, but we do have to say goodbye to summer.
Thanks very much, Leanne. It's time for sports, and we've got a pretty good sportscast for you now, don't we now, Bob?
Indeed we do. Lots of exciting stuff going on. After a 54-0 drubbing of Wagner, the Orange get set for Saturday's showdown against Tulane. The Orange are going for their 700th all-time victory, which would make them just the 15th FBS program to reach this milestone. But Tulane, meanwhile, comes in with some momentum of their own after a tough conference road win against Louisiana Tech. All eyes will be on Terrell Hunt in this one. The sophomore was given an opportunity last Saturday and made the most of it, igniting the offense, leading them to 5 first-half touchdowns while throwing for 265 yards and 3 touchdowns. Meanwhile, the men's soccer team came into its showdown against UConn, having not beat the Huskies since 2003. To make matters worse, Skylar Thomas, the defensive MVP of the Mayor's Cup, was out. But redshirt sophomore Brandon Albert stepped in and made several key plays, helping to preserve a 1-0 win. Following the game, Coach Ian McIntyre had high praise for the redshirt sophomore.
He's always been one of my favorites. He's that student-athlete story. Engineering major here, that couple of jobs on the weekend, and as you saw tonight, he's got a big heart, and to have your first ever start to be against UConn is a tough ask, and the guy was magnificent tonight.
5th-ranked Syracuse field hockey is gearing up for its ACC debut. The 6-0 Orange head to Newton, Massachusetts for a showdown with the 17th-ranked Boston College Eagles. BC, meanwhile, is off to a 5-1 start this season. Andy Reid returning to Philadelphia after 14 years with the Eagles, an emotional game for him. The Chiefs enter this one 2-0. They had 2 wins all season last year. Michael Vick drops back to pass, looking for Brent Selleck. That's Eric Berry taking it in for the 38-yard touchdown. Vick would recover, though. Here he goes up top to Jason Avant, 22-yard touchdown. Vick and the Eagles right back into this game. But 4th quarter, Jamal Charles takes it in for the easy score, effectively putting this game out of reach. Chiefs celebrating. They improve to 3-0. Meanwhile, Andy Reid, the emotional victory, he gets the Gatorade bath. The Eagles, meanwhile, and Chip Kelly's high-powered offense failed to score 30 points for the first time this year as the Eagles fall to 1-2 on the season. To golf, where Henrik Stenson is putting on quite a show. Stetson sits atop the leaderboard. He's been impressive, shooting 3 under today. Here you see him, quite the shot. That gets down onto the green. Look at that, right near the hole. Tiger Woods, meanwhile, did not have things go easy right here on the putt. No soup for you. Close but no cigar for Tiger. Stetson, he would fare better as Tiger misses again. A tough day for him. Here's Stetson sinking the short putt. Like I said, he sits atop the leaderboard, goes 3 under today. Adam Scott, second place right now. He shot a 65 in round 1 and is even on the day. He only trails Stetson by 4 strokes, while Jordan Spieth, Justin Rose, and Dustin Johnson round out the top 5. It's almost October, and the AL wildcard couldn't be any less clear. The Rangers, who are 2-8 in their last 10 games, are tied with the Rays for the wildcard lead. Meanwhile, the Indians sit just a half game back, with the Orioles and Royals 2 and 3 games back, respectively. But the Red Sox and Dodgers have stamped their tickets to October, and when you clinch a playoff spot, you get to swim. Los Angeles, who did so with a win in Arizona, decided to go for a dip in the center field pool. Adrian Gonzalez, a little hesitant, ultimately jumped in the pool and decided to get his feet wet as the Dodgers prepare for October. They are playoff bound after a rough start to a season that made things not look promising. I'm Bobby Kravitsky. That's sports.
Thanks, Bobby. Everyone loves a good deed, especially when it saves you money.
Up next, a Dairy Queen in Minnesota is serving justice alongside its ice cream. You'll want to hear this. Stay tuned.
77. An 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European Pro Golf Tours, 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the US Open twice, 1 in 1.2 billion. The odds of him having a child diagnosed with autism, 1 in 110. Ernie Els encourages you to learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Oh, April.
Yeah?
You know your charger's still using energy when it's plugged into the wall, right?
Yeah, but that's not my charger. I don't even have a cell phone.
Millions of kids are using their energy wisely. What's your excuse?
It all started when one woman picked up $20 off the ground.
But the money wasn't hers. It was dropped by a visually impaired customer who couldn't see the money fall on the floor. The manager then saw the woman slip it into her purse. He asked her about the money, but she denied taking it from the man. So he denied her service.
The manager then gave the blind man $20 from his own pocket to compensate for his loss.
Seems like karma can make a comeback.
Absolutely can. And that's all we have for tonight. Thanks for tuning in to Citrus TV News Live at 6. I'm John Tummino.
And I'm Anna Giles. Have a great night, Syracuse.